welcome. We're back on Well Connected, and I'm here with
Roqy, Tyraid, Roqy, Tyraid. How you doing?
I could never do that. I'm gonna learn people's tags in the beginning, so I can say it for
I'm just spelling my name. That's all.
But no, I cannot say it with that much swag. I cannot say it like that. Maybe like if I drink a little bit more, like I'll be able to get that vibe. Yeah. So welcome back. How are you?
I'm great. You know, like it's man, crazy.
You're like, I don't even want to go.
I don't even know. Yeah, I'm good. I'm focused. I'm awake. You know, I don't even have to have any sort of caffeine supplements. I'm here. I'm wired. Good to go.
So, I mean,
maxed out. Hey,
it's Maxed Out Monday. So, right now, I mean, I know you're doing good. Like you're busy. You're focused on your own thing. But I just feel like right now is like a really important time to get you in here and like speak to you directly because you haven't really, I mean, done like a promo run or, you know, dropped anything recently, but like you've been really busy.
Yeah.
You know, with Phoenix helping the community with everything and, you know, anything. So what was the last time you got like a full night's sleep?
A while ago. I don't even know. Maybe sometime back in May before, you know, everything, all the unfortunate events with George Floyd and all of that, because as soon as that had happened, the whole nation went to work.
So that's where everything started. So I feel like you've been rapping about this for years. And you, I mean, people can check your stuff and they can also check our old episodes.
Yeah.
Because we've had you on 2-3 times.
I think so.
And it's always been the same message. It's always been like active, like care about, you know, our community, social, like injustice. Like it's always been that way. But like now it's kind of like, oh, everybody's catching up. Like everybody's kind of like, oh, this is going around. Like when George Floyd happened, like you were like, everybody kind of looked to you as a leader, I feel.
That's wild. Yeah, I didn't even realize that, you know, like even with the demonstrations, like we just showed up the first day to assist some of the young individuals who never protested before, because we haven't had anything of this magnitude since like maybe 2016, 2017 or something like that. And so you have the whole new generation coming about and, you know, coming of age, and they don't know how to take care of themselves in certain environments when there's tear gas, and you know how to simple stuff like not touching your face.
We've never been through it.
Milk. You've never really been through anything of that magnitude. So just started out as kind of like a pseudo medic and just taking care of people and noticing that there necessarily wasn't like a like organized or like a structural body in these demonstrations.
Or anyone giving tips or advice.
Absolutely, yeah. So, you know, it went from that to like, okay, let me hold down this demonstration for like the evening, and then showed up the next day trying to kind of like play the background, ended up doing that and like falling into it again.
Roqy's been in the streets with a megaphone for like he's been in the streets with a megaphone for the last 6 months, so don't play. He's not here to play right now. He's tired. We're gonna wrap this up in 2 minutes. We'll get you home.
That's all good, but you know, like you know, we're out there, like, I mean, it's just such a chaotic experience. You know, like out there with like actual news anchors that you see on nightly news out here in Phoenix, and we're getting tear gas together and stuff like that, and one thing to led to another, and then, you know, like this organization comes to be, and it's the We Rising Project, and we're kind of like helping direct, you know, this demonstrative energy that is coming about in Phoenix. And you know, it's just one day after the other, and next thing you know, like you're a month in, you're 2 months in, now we're like literally on our 3rd month as of tomorrow.
And just because it's not on TV doesn't mean it's not happening.
Exactly. You know, because first it was like
that's why I was like, we need Roqy in here.
It was sensational.
Get Roqy back in here.
Yeah. I'm glad to be here. It was super sensationalized because, you know, it's just a hot topic, and then once you start seeing it, oh man, they're actually making change. They're talking to politicians in the background. They're helping push for certain agendas. They're helping, you know, the certain cases where, you know, black and brown, you know, individuals who are unjustly murdered would have just been swept under the rug, and now they're becoming topics, and we're writing an advocacy for their legacy and for their justice. Like, once the system sees that, okay, let's pull back the cameras, let's pull back the coverage and stuff like that. You know, and first they tried to kind of demonize the movement, but you know, we're out here doing altruistic acts and really working with the community, and so you can't spin it from that direction. So they pull back, hoping that we fall back, hoping that the numbers would dwindle, and they may and they may not, but we're still consistent. And what you can say is that Phoenix is very much
it's still happening. It's still happening.
Yeah, we're out here. We would have been out here. We're out here last Friday. Last Friday for the Million Man March and everything. So that was an interesting event and everything.
And there's no end to it. Like I think if there wasn't any we didn't know about, like, it, you know, because George Floyd happened, and then the Johnson case happened. So
the same day.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Day.
I thought it was the day before or after.
Same day, different sides of the country.
So I remember when the marches were going on, like, you know, people were kind of out there protesting for both things, and we would have never knew that was happening here. Yeah. Not that we didn't know, but I mean, isn't Arizona number one in, like, police brutality?
It's high up on the list. You know, those things alternate, unfortunately. But you know, we do have so many cases of police brutality, of unjust murders. I mean, you can look in documentation from Phoenix with Muhammad to even sometimes where it branches outside of the statistically proven fact of it being directed at black and brown communities, where you have white individuals like Daniel Schaefer, who was killed by Mesa police.
And now when you see these cases, you're like, oh, like, they're not just like a quick, if they get 5 seconds on TV, it's like, you're like, oh, this is really still happening. Yeah.
So, you know, like, different organizations and people may reach out to families or lawyers on behalf who are representing those families, and see what we can all do in order to uplift and reinforce those cases, and help push for justice for those individuals and judgment for the people who committed those acts.
And can we also talk about how these are actually peaceful protests?
I would say nonviolent, because I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate that. There are no looting. There is no rioting. I haven't seen a water bottle be thrown.
When I was out there, everything was, I mean, everybody was masked up. Nobody was out here, you know, really close to each other, or, I mean, they were close, but everybody had gloves on, masks on. Like, it was very, you know, we were there for a reason. Yeah,
it was very thought out. And, you know, we have, like, supply teams who are in solidarity with all of the demonstrations and all of the organizations. And, you know, they supply masks, they supply water, they supply electrolytes.
Oh my God, so much water and snacks out there. It's like, insane. It was so dope. There was cars, like, parked in the streets, like, water.
So, you know, and I can say it now, like, the police, they first tried to dismantle this movement by targeting those individuals, by harassing the people in the water trucks and handing out electrolytes.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know that was going on.
So they tried to pick apart that aspect of the movement. Once that didn't work, because they just showed up in carts and, you know, wagons the next day, then they start trying to, you know, go after parts of the structural body from, like, an organized or leadership role sort of deal. And it's insane. I want to say that the rumors are true. There is, like, a list of leaders within the community that they are actively predatorily, like, mass arresting, and you know, waiting until they're isolated and then kind of, like,
grab them real quick.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
So even in my case, like, I was arrested.
Let's talk about that, because all on my social media, I see free Roqy.
That's crazy.
I was like, they arrested
I didn't know, like, the community. I spent so much time being, like, the asshole battle rapper guy.
I thought we were gonna make shirts. We were about, like, the shirts were about to go to print, and then, like, I checked on your social media, and you were already out.
That is so heavy, yo. Thank y'all for real,
like,
man.
I saw everybody sharing, like, hashtags free Roqy.
Yo, I came out to that, and it was.
And I was already like, he's out, you know. He's out, you know, thank God. But, like, everybody was really like, oh shit, like, this could happen to any of us.
It really can, because they're even going outside of, like, the list of people, because there is, like, a list of confirmed individuals who are on, like, sheets of paper that we've had other colleagues
that they kind of have their eyes on.
You know, we've had people who are getting ready to be apprehended, and they're saying, like, oh, you know, the officer over there said there's number such and such. I don't want to say the number, but there's number such and such. Get that person right there. And it's crazy, because, you know, again, we're not doing anything that's harmful. We're not knocking barricades over.
No.
We haven't thrown a water bottle since, like, May 28th. You know, like, literally. You know, so in my treatment, I was arrested, and my property, my vehicle was all taken in under 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
When is the last time you have called for a tow truck and it has not arrived in under 45 minutes?
Never.
Exactly.
Never. Usually it's like an hour and a half. I've waited 2.5 hours for a tow truck.
I got a flat tire the other day and waited for, like, an hour and some
But they were right there? They were ready to go in 10 minutes?
Yeah, ready to go. My car was out of here, you know? So, you know, it says a lot that they are definitely targeting us. And even with the charges, they're, like, slapping these crazy charges on top of us in order to build a case. And it's like a junior COINTELPRO type of situation. So, you know, like, it says a lot about the type of impact that we have as Phoenicians out here. For them to feel that they're backed against the corner, and
that they have to try and
these unjust tactics and things like that. So
that's horrible.
It's wild, but it's the truth.
So you were only in there for the night?
Yes, but what they do is they grab you the first time.
They
push your case to the ass end of like the next month in order to say, okay, this individual violated. We're gonna arrest him and keep him longer, or we're gonna build this case. And so that's the type of tactics that they do. So it is important for individuals to talk about this in like a public forum, a public space, and to let individuals know that we are definitely being unjustly targeted.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So absolutely. We have people have their vehicles taken and not have it returned.
How are you supposed to get home? And then curfew is going on.
Yeah,
So what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to...
That was even after curfew. They were just like, fuck your transportation. You have a Wcaz and an Uber.
You thought you had a car?
What car?
Oh my God. That's
My grandmama gave me this car.
I didn't know that they were like, ready to go and towing your car out of there so fast.
Everything. Like they took my damn AirPods. The joke's on them because one of them things is fucking broken anyway. So
you're like, huh? Yeah. Good luck with my broken AirPods. So I was gonna ask you, what are organizations that you kind of like are backing up? But you already let us know. It's
we have the We Rising Project, but we are, any like forward moving, organization that's about Black or brown like lives and equity within those communities. We stand for it. We definitely stand for it.
I think people are just kind of like, they're not sure. I mean, you see like everybody's Facebook stories like, oh, here are the links, here are the numbers, but
like for the bailouts.
Yes,
yeah, those
but
change
also
every day.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, how do people know? Like, do you guys have like a place that's like really current, or like where they can donate money?
Oh, absolutely.
And it'll actually go to like where it needs to go. Not that it wasn't, but
goes directly
but people
to
are
us.
Donating to the bailout funds like out of state, and it's like, hey, we need that help here.
That's
I'm
helpful.
like, we need that here.
Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you. That's a very powerful like subject there. So. Yeah, you do have your out-of-state bail funds, but your best bet is to, if you have the opportunity, donate directly to the organizations.
Exactly.
Because those deal not only with the people within that organizational structure, but all of our allies and people who, entrust us with, helping steer the direction of things. So with us, paypal.me/WeRising. Or you can just, if you just want to stay up to date and you just want to donate your time, the We
That's
Rising
what I was gonna ask
Project.
too, like volunteers,
Yeah,
like
just show up, just being a body and just being out there in solidarity with us, that goes further than monetary donations and things like that. So.
Does We Rising have a Instagram page?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, dope. I'll put it in the comments.
Yeah. So,
okay,
yeah.
And then I also noticed you guys were raising money for the homeless.
Absolutely.
Like, that's still going on. It's not like there's no more.
7,
all of a sudden,
8
there's
weeks
no
deep.
homeless anymore. Like, that's crazy. And I saw that you guys were posting like, well, I don't know, the post that was said like the parking lot is not a home.
Yeah. So I mean, just to kind of go into it very briefly, like, there are different sub-communities within the areas between, I think, 9th Ave and 12th Ave and Jefferson and Madison. So by Cass and all of that, where they have like parking lots set up for tents and unsheltered individuals, but they are so regulated and controlled. It honestly, it sounds cliche, but it feels like a concentration camp, and how they're treated and how we're not allowed to provide certain types of service to them.
So you can't pull up and try and like
because they have like
some...
like pillars and stuff that block off parts of that neighborhood. So if we try and like take a radio flyer wagon with supplies and electrolytes.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know like Ramses people, like they'll go out and they'll feed them and they'll give them like kids, like hygiene kits.
Oh
like
yeah,
that
shout out,
kind of stuff.
Ramses, hashtag lunchbag.
Yeah.
That dude Ramses, I'm telling you. So when we show up to these communities, like they're like,
no,
these restrictions.
don't, you guys can't come in here.
We had a colleague out here.
We did not know that. I did not know that.
She was, this individual was trying to, size them for tents and stuff like that, and they had the tents in hand, and
they're like,
harassing
you can't leave this here.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but it's important that people just take the time and show up. You don't have to wait for an organization. You can just be like, I'm right around the corner. I have a case of waters. Just
drop it off, get out of there.
And get out. Yeah, it does a lot for the people out there because we spend way too much money on the police department and the militarization of said police department and not enough on the communities, especially in these crazy oppressive summers. You have the heat, you have the monsoons coming over and knocking over tents
and that's like the horrible thing because we're not having all the water drives like we used to because COVID. You usually see them set up outside the grocery stores. I know like the radio station would always do that. All the radio stations would do like a water drive, and there's no water drives going on, or
mask up
or
and do it. Just stay 6 feet away from each other or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Please do it. Like anybody in the community, I know there's a lot of like powerful people in the hip hop community out here. Like just take some of your money and your funds and like put that together. You don't have to announce it, just do it. So
I feel you. So I'll definitely put the link in there for We Rising. I'm like Phoenix is on there too, right? We Rising Phoenix is a hashtag. There we go. But I'll definitely put it in there so people can know where to go.
Thank you.
Because like it definitely has some, it's us, it's you, it's our neighborhood. It's not like, oh, here's a .org that doesn't belong to our state. Like, is there all problems that we have going on right now?
Yeah, we all first met off like 3rd and Adams downtown. This is like as Phoenix as it gets. So.
Well, after you guys check that out, then we're gonna go check out Roqy's music. You are back in the studio.
Yeah. It's right before everything had happened, I was in the middle of working on my next project.
Oh damn! And then you're probably like, skirt.
Like. Yeah, it feels much respect to it because it is important that we have like a soundtrack. So I don't want it to feel like people are being shamed for not being out there in the streets per se. We have people who are contributing to, just making that snapshot in history through their music. It isn't, even if it's not like necessarily politically aligned. So don't feel shamed. But me personally, I just couldn't contribute to something that only benefited myself.
Yeah.
And so I had to just do something, man. I just felt compelled. Like I said, and one thing led to another, and next thing you know, like I'm like a month or two in it, So
I feel like you were very needed out there. Kind of to be like, in the hip hop community and like, let's go. I mean, he had a megaphone every day.
That was part of my logo.
Do you have it on you?
Yeah, no, it's in my car. Actually, you never know. I have my gas mask. I have my big ass, the 3M gas mask and everything.
Ready.
And,
You're
stay
ready.
I have my waters in there. So.
Damn. So are you? I mean, now that the marches are kind of spread out a little bit more, it's not like every day, kind of like more of a weekly or monthly thing. Bi-weekly.
The pace is already set, so you don't need to be out there every day. It's super hot. People are scared because of COVID. They have family. They have like respiratory issues. We don't want to place people in that risk. We already know the state of mind that we're at right now, so we don't need to be out there every day. So like we said, we had the one on last Friday on the whatever last Friday's date was for the Million Man March and all of that. So.
And now I feel like everything's more organized. It's not like, oh, where are we at today? It's kind of like we kind of know where to go. And now we can, just go on the Instagram and find out where it's at.
Go on Twitter and find out what's going on, So even if we're not like demonstrating per se that day, we're doing other things like we're in the communities. We're going to be planning some more things for, like with the schools and providing supplies and stuff like that. Because it really is about like organizing around the community.
I feel like volunteering goes a long way too, because I can give you the money, but then you guys need people to make it work. You can have one person going to buy all the waters and all the supplies, and
it's a lot, So I mean, if any of y'all just dedicate one day out of the week, and that's one thing that I realized with the limited amount of people that we've had out here, we were able to really enact change in under 2 months' time. Imagine if 20% more of us out here in the hip hop community applied themselves. Like we'd be able to expedite this change.
Definitely.
So, like I personally, like we've spoken to mayors, we've spoken to chief of staff from the city and different councilmen and people within these municipal governmental bodies. And it went from people being like afraid of the concept of change to understanding that it's pertinent to your career. So you can understand that this is where the people want to go, or we can select someone else.
Yeah.
And it's again, and just bringing it in on that, because I'm talking a lot, but like, we're in one of the most important voting seasons in American history, even out here. Now that it's already passed, the county attorney, it is run between the Republican incumbent Alistair Adele and this is gonna get my case fucked up so bad, but whatever. And the Democratic candidate Julie Gunnagle. If you look at the track record for the former person, the incumbent, it's not in line with what we represent here as Phoenicians. It's not in line with the liberties that we would like to have in the Black and brown community.
So it doesn't even make sense
so
to
vote, just research. But when it comes down to stuff like that, please, it's very important that you place the time and effort into voting, because that is going to affect you, some of y'all people who are out there, you know what I'm talking about. Like, this is something that you need to vote for. It's something that you need to apply yourself towards.
Yeah, I just think everybody should get a little bit more educated on
down
who they're going to be.
is where it's at.
And
Absolutely.
I mean, I just think it's funny because like
Oh, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Ballotpedia, like Wikipedia. Ballotpedia will help you research who is in your area. You can look up the Arizona Maricopa County Recorder to find out who your elected officials are. You can research who they are. You can see if they're in the election cycle this year.
Ooh, I'll put the link in the comments too.
Yeah, absolutely. It is fucking important that y'all vote. Absolutely. You have to vote. If you're about this hip hop shit, you need to vote. Straight up.
I mean, 6 months ago, we never knew who our governor, like we didn't know who the governor was.
Yeah, like.
And even funnier, like nobody really knew that he's been there for so long. And we're like, yo, this has been our governor for years. And now all of a sudden he has to, do all this, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Are you putting, do you feel like you're putting any of this in your music?
It's always been in my music.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
I guess so.
No,
like I was like listening to stuff that I recorded right before it, and stuff I recorded like
makes sense.
right after. I'm like, not really a change of pace here. I mean, the shit is really incredible. I've been working with some amazing producers. Soundtrack, Zenon, Nameless.
Okay.
So these people who like producers know who I'm talking about. Like, these are people who knock it out the park. Even individuals from out here, like, oh my God, why am I doing this?
From here.
Yeah. G1, I'm sorry, G1. Yo, G1, my bad,
We're gonna
brother.
throw him in the comments.
G1 is one of the illest producers. I just talked to him the other day, and like he was making up some stuff for J-Wop and PK the Poet.
Oh, I
and
love
that
J-Wop.
was amazing. And like G1's definitely one of my favorite producers. Brother, it's like going to a family reunion where you can think about all your cousins and you forget the one that you like been playing basketball with the whole time.
We love you out
we
here.
love G1. So anyways.
When do you think we'll hear something?
Soon, definitely soon. I'm getting ready to wrap everything up, but like it's all dependent on what happens out there in the streets. So
Yeah, definitely.
We'll get back to play once all of this stuff like kind of finds its momentum.
Mm-hmm.
So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any final words? Any statements?
Free Kyrie. Free Kyrie. Free the real Kyrie, man. That's an excellent brother right there. One of the most humble, loving individuals that I've had the honor of. I actually met him through activism, and I've been running around and doing my own thing, and checking back in Phoenix and all of that. That I like. Oh, Dad, I know you get busy too, so meeting him, another like MC through the art of activism, has allowed me to just digest his music and apply that to who he is as a person. And we just hoping he comes home real soon. I don't want to speak on it too much because it's not my position. But that's a really, really stand-up guy, shirt off his back type of individual. And I really don't stamp people in music because I've been screwed over so many times. But great guy right there. So, free Kyrie.
I feel you. Where can we find you on social media? Kind of keep up with the movement too.
Yeah. So Roqy Tyraid, Roqy Tyraid. The culture is back. For things pertaining to like everything that's going on out here in Maricopa County, We Rising, hashtag We Rising PHX on all your social platforms to bring you right to where you need to be. So please just apply yourself one day out of the week.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure.
Yes.